Chapter 1. On my birthday, he told me he loved someone else on my 50th birthday. My husband stood in front of the entire family and announced that he had fallen in love with his student. What was even more absurd, my children raised their glasses to celebrate. Dad finally had the courage to follow his heart. This is what real life is about. And I stood there beside the dining table like an unwanted guest. My name is Emily Carter. After 30 years of marriage, I believed I had married for love. Until that day, my husband, Robert Carter, set down his wine glass and looked at me. Emily, there is something I need to tell you. I've fallen in love with my student, Sophie Miller. She's young. She needs security. I want to give her a proper place in my life. The air froze. Before I could speak, my son Jason spoke first. Dad, you finally said it. I support you. My daughter Lily even clapped. Congratulations on starting a new chapter of your life. They raised their glasses, smiling, as if they were celebrating something noble. No one remembered it was my birthday. I suddenly found it laughable. I reached into my pocket and took out the divorce papers I had already prepared. Fine, I said. I'll make it easy for you. Chapter 2. The moment I signed, they were stunned. They didn't expect me to agree so easily. Robert even looked unsure. Emily, you really mean this? I said nothing. I simply slid the papers toward him. He glanced at the asset division, and relief flickered in his eyes. The house was mine before marriage, everything acquired after. I gave up. I didn't want anything tying me to him anymore. He signed quickly, as if afraid I might change my mind. After signing, my son poured me a drink for the first time. Mom, this is the right choice. You've got to learn to let go. My daughter was already saying, when are we bringing Sophie home for dinner? I spoke calmly. It's late. You should all leave, not get some rest, but leave my house. The room went cold. Chapter 3. After the divorce, I finally lived like a person after they left. I opened one of his prized bottles of wine. I sat alone and finished the entire table of food. That night, I slept more peacefully than I had in 30 years. The next morning, I didn't wake up at 5 to cook. I didn't take care of a disabled husband. I didn't babysit. I didn't clean my daughter's house. I made myself breakfast, coffee, eggs, toast. Life could be this simple. I opened my closet. Only a few old clothes remained. Because Robert used to say, I'm a professor. Our household should be modest, yet he had casually gifted that student $88,000. I smiled. Then I went shopping. This time I was spending money on myself. Chapter 4. She could take the dress, but not my life. At the mall, I ran into her, Sophie Miller, and my children. She was dressed in luxury brands, smiling gently. Emily, long time no see. Then she picked up the dress I had been looking at. I love this one, I said coldly. I saw it first. My son immediately said, Mom, it doesn't suit you. Let her have it. My daughter was even more direct. At your age, wearing something like that is embarrassing. In that moment, I finally understood they weren't manipulated. They had simply never loved me. I insisted on buying it, but my daughter shoved me to the ground. Pain shot through my lower back, an old injury. They took the chance to pay and left with her. Not one of them looked back. Chapter 5. I had to die once to see them clearly later. On the street, Sophie leaned close and whispered, You didn't know? They've been calling me Mom for a long time. Someone like you should have disappeared already. I raised my hand to slap her, but my son grabbed me hard. Have you lost your mind? I looked at him. She just insulted me. He hesitated for a moment, then said, Was she wrong? In that instant, something inside me died completely. Just then a truck came speeding out of control. Instinctively, I tried to push him away, but the two of them pushed me into the road. Only then did I understand. I was never their mother. I was just a tool. Chapter 6. After rebirth. I refused to be their mother. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the day he confessed. This time, I didn't break down, didn't beg, didn't cry. I only did one thing. I signed the divorce papers in advance. Because I knew what was coming. He would get into a car accident, he would be paralyzed, I would take care of him for 15 years, and in the end, he would say, "The biggest regret of my life was marrying you," and my children would throw me into the cheapest nursing home. They would even dump my ashes down a drain. In this life, I would not be that foolish woman again. Chapter 7. I still had family. I just forgot them the day I was discharged from the hospital. I called a number. On the other end was my older brother, Daniel Carter, Emily. I've been waiting for this call for a long time. 20 minutes later, a black government car stopped in front of me. I was taken into a military residential compound. Only then did I realize I was not unloved. I had just given all my love to the wrong people. Chapter 8. Only after losing me did they learn the cost. Later, Robert still got into that accident. He became paralyzed, but this time I never went back. My children began to fall apart. No one to take care of their kids, no one to cook, no one to clean up their messes. Their company collapsed. Their marriages failed. They came to beg me. I only said one sentence: "We have no relationship anymore." Later, that so-called true love, Sophie, was sentenced to 13 years in prison for fraud, and Robert was sent by his own children to the worst nursing home. He kept asking, "Where's Emily?" But I never appeared again. Chapter 9. This time, I lived for myself. I started traveling, studying, making friends, living again. Only then did I realize the world is vast. And I had once been trapped in a kitchen. The last news I heard about them, Robert was dead. They refused to pay for a burial plot. The funeral home called me. I only said one thing: "Do whatever you want." Then I went back to my game of cards. I was on a winning streak, and nothing was worth interrupting that.